Alright, as a final step in this section, let's now connect our remote hosted database with our Compass app and also with the Mongo shell. So back here in the Atlas app, let's open up the Connect Assistant by clicking this button here. And so now before we can actually connect, we need to do a couple of things. First up, we need to add our current IP address, just like this, so that our computer is actually able to connect to this cluster. Okay? Next up, let's create a username, and I'm calling mine simply Jonas, and then a password, which I'm going to auto-generate here. And I'm actually showing it here now because I need to copy it. But don't try to connect to my database using this password, because of course I'm going to change it by the end of the course. Now, where am I going to save it? Well, let's go to our application and open up our config file. And so this is what we created this file for in the first place. Right? So remember how we said that each configuration we were going to save into this file. And so the database password is actually a perfect example for that. So database password, and I'm setting it to the password that we just created. And later, when we will then connect our application to the database, we will then of course use this environment variable to create that connection. Okay? So let's now create the user actually. And now next up, all we have to do is to choose a connection method, and we're going to start with the MongoDB Compass application. Okay? So we already have Compass, and I'm sure we have 1.12 or later. And so let's now go ahead and copy this connection string. Okay, and now open up Compass. Then up here in the menu, hit connect here. Then it will take some time to open up this new window. But by the time it does, it will then have automatically detected that we have a MongoDB connection string in our clipboard. And so all we have to do is to hit yes here, and it will then automatically fill all of these settings for us. So our host name, our username, and all this other stuff. And so now all we need is our password here. So I'm going back to that file, grab it from there, paste it here, and connect. And indeed, it did successfully connect, and now it's loading our databases. And here we actually see the 3 databases that already come pre-configured in this cluster. So let's create a new one called Naters. And we also have to create a collection name right away, and I'm calling it, of course, Tours. So create database, and here we go. So open that up, and now open the Tours collection. And now let's then finally insert our first document. Okay? So again, name, the forest hiker. The price should be $297. And I'm giving it a double number here. And I also want to create the rating 4.7 and also as a double. So insert. And so just like this, we have our first tour created on our remote database. Great. That's awesome. Let's now go back actually to Chrome and take a look at our cluster here. So when I open up this cluster by clicking here, then it's going to load our collections up here. And so give it a second. And so now we actually have our database name, our collection name, and the tour that we just created in Compass. And that's awesome. So it means that our connection is really working. Now another thing that we can and should do is to allow access from everywhere to this cluster. So remember how right in the beginning of this video we whitelisted our IP in order to grant access to our current computer to this cluster. But if you happen to switch computers during development, you might need to whitelist the IP of that computer as well, because otherwise you might not be able to connect. But since we're not really dealing with sensitive data here anyway, we can simply whitelist every single IP in the world and allow access from everywhere. Now of course we will always still need our username and our password, But this way, we don't need to keep adding our computers to whitelist. We will simply whitelist all IPs that exists. Okay, so click over here on access, or actually it's not here. So let's open up this cluster again. And here, I think it's on security and IP whitelist. And now here on the right side, click on add IP address. And now I want to allow access from anywhere. Confirm, and that's it. Okay, and now just as a last step, let's also connect our Mongo shell to this cluster. So let's go back to clusters here, open up again the connect assistant, and then connect with Mongo shell. Now we already have it installed here, and so now all we need to do is to copy this connection string. So copy it, open up the terminal, and here we actually still have the Mongo shell running. So let's quit that very quick, because remember, this is still connected to our locally running Mongo server. But now we no longer want that, we want to connect to our hosted database. And so let's copy our string here, hit return, and it will now probably ask us for our password, and indeed it does, and that is in VS Code, which I have just here. So copy it, back to the terminal, paste it, hit return, and I think it's doing something here. And it looks like it worked. So show dbs remember, just to show all the database, and indeed here we have naders. So great, we are connected. So let's say use naders, and so we switched to db naders, and now db.tours.find, and here we have the document that we just created before using Compass. Perfect. So now everything is really interconnected. We have the Mongo shell and we have also Compass both connected to our remote database hosted on Atlas. And so like this, we are actually ready to move on to the next section, connect our database with our Express application, and then finally start working with the database in our application. So great job making it until this point, and I hope to see you soon.